2025 will be blank for rideshare drivers? I asked this question over on Facebook, and the answers that I got from other drivers pretty interesting. Let's just go through some of these here. One guy says redemption year, and I guess what I'm thinking is like for me, 2023 was when I earned the most. It might have been like when I had the most fun too, to some extent. The app had the bonuses, and it was good. 2024, we got a rude awakening as drivers, I think. So 2025 redemption year. I like that one here. Here's a couple of ones. The end for rideshare drivers. Worst for rideshare drivers. This guy goes. This guy goes finished. So there's that. But here's an interesting one. Robotaxi. I think that is so true. I think that 2025 will be the year a lot of Americans learn about, experience autonomous cars, specifically robotaxis or Waymos, right, in some of the cities. But I know a lot of my passengers are experiencing the Tesla full self-drive because I use it a lot. And my passengers are blown away by the autonomous functionality within my car. So it's a good one here. Okay. Difficult. Then the poop emoji was another one. But you know what? Here's a couple that I thought were really good. Phenomenal. Good. Great. I like those. Maybe it's just I'm the ever optimist. I think we can make the things around us what we want them to be. I can't. That's not to say that I'm going to make $1 million a year as a rideshare driver or anything like that. I think there are some realistic limitations. But once we kind of understand what those limitations are, we can do amazing things inside of that. I know a lot of drivers, maybe not a lot, but I know a lot of drivers. I used it again. I know some drivers are learning how to maximize their revenue when they're not with passengers. You know, they're working on the go to some extent. For me, it's still the stories. I don't want to accept less money, but I do love the experience as a rideshare driver. And I've always said that if I won the lottery, I'd probably still be an Uber driver. I wouldn't do it all the time, and I definitely wouldn't do it for the money, but I like it. So 2025 will be, a good year for rideshare drivers. I think if you have realistic expectations and understand, kind of the direction of the industry. Here's an interesting one. Changing rapidly. And put some more detail here. It says, I think it's good to keep an open mind. Yeah. Changing rapidly. I think that kind of goes back to that autonomous robotaxi thing. Not only will people be able to experience autonomous cars and things like that, but it's going to impact Uber and Lyft as a business. I mean, look at Waymo. They're actually hitting and impacting the Uber and Lyft revenue streams in the cities where Waymo operates. It's not great right now, but it's going to get bigger. Well, these companies are also going to have to, continue to pursue profitability, which means it's probably going to be more challenges for rideshare drivers. There might be different bonuses coming out and things like that. So the industry is going to change a lot. Yeah, so having some sort of adaptability would be really good. So I like that one. The one I want to leave you with is this one where he goes, new beginnings. And that stuck with me the most. New beginnings. On one hand, you might think, you know what? I'm going to decide not to be a rideshare driver. I think a lot of the drivers that are doing it today are trying to find ways to not have to do it tomorrow. And that's a shame because it's a great job. But the Uber and Lyft apps have pushed pay so low for drivers. It's really hard. It's hard to be a full-time professional rideshare driver. Sure, it's probably always going to be a good little side hustle, but I don't think the industry, the business, can operate with a bunch of side hustle gig workers. They're gonna need drivers like you and me, at least me, out there every day putting in, a good 8-hour shift. That keeps the system, working. So new beginnings. But another way to look at it, instead of trying to leave the business or transition out of it or whatever else it is, new beginnings is kind of like new perspectives. Kind of going back to that other post or response being that 2025 is the year of kind of like rapid change or something like that. Well, new beginnings is also kind of like new perspectives. New beginnings can be, this year I'm going to do a better job of picking the right trips. I'm not going to get sucked into the algorithm. New beginnings could be I'm going to drive in a different location. I'm going to drive at different times. So I'm going to switch things up operationally for myself to make more money. Instead of taking short trips, I'm going to take airport trips. Well, whatever it is, trying new things out. Last year, I was a part of a show, and it's still going. Matt and Lynn, and I think a new host. I don't know who it's going to be, but we'll find out. There's a show on X called Drivers Coast to Coast. It's every Monday at 7 p.m. You should find it. It's really good. I'll put a link somewhere in here. But we always talked on the show about trying new things. A good example for me would be 2 years ago. I was a nighttime rideshare driver. I would go to a college, Syracuse, Binghamton, Cornell, and just park and do 1 mile trips all night. I would try to get up to 60 trips in a day in a 12-hour shift. Right now I normally just do I guess 56 was my max, but now I'm doing long reserved rides. I've done 4 rides today and I'm at $200 in revenue, and it's like just doing these long trips, and I'm always charging the Tesla. So new beginnings. What are you going to do different this year? I don't know what I'm going to do for me different this year, but a new beginning sounds good. I like that. As the year gets started, a new beginning. Hey, I created Tip You in the app for drivers like you and me, drivers that like the gig, that want to make the most amount of money, but we want to be safe, healthy, and ultimately thrive. I have a rideshare driver class, a master class that I put together just a few months ago. Check it out. I'll put the link somewhere in here. But in addition to that, for 2025, I want you to drive your way. There's so many drivers out there that think they know the best way to drive for you, but only you know your car, your city, your needs, your time you can drive. Only you can do it. The kind of passengers and the trips that you want to take. So I want to encourage you to drive your way. Doesn't mean your way is going to be the way that makes the most amount of money, but enjoy it. Enjoy the journey. Hey, be safe, be well. Know that I'm cheering for. Please like, subscribe, join Thrive, the membership, either here or on my website. I really appreciate it. I'm cheering for you guys. Bye.